And we are back for another reaction. And this time we're going to mess with a British rapper, Akala, or maybe it's Akala. If you know his name, help your boy out. But it's Fire in the Booth Part 1. As far as British rappers go, don't really know a whole lot. I mean, I'm not above not listening to the music, but I just don't really know a whole lot of them. And then the accent can kind of make it hard to understand sometimes. But hopefully he is spitting some fire. Now, when it comes down to videos like this, seeing how I'm not located in that area, that means I don't really know all the issues and the problems that's going on over there. So even if he is spitting truth on some of these things, it may go over my head because I don't live over there. You feel what I'm saying? But let's check out and see what he's talking about. This is Fire in the Booth Part 1. And I believe there's 4 parts to this, so I'll probably go through each part. If I like this one, I might check out the other parts just to see what he's talking about. So let's go ahead and dive in. And here we go.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yo. Okay, yo.
I like you. You're like a tiger.
Yes, I grew up on a dole in a single parent family. Been through a little bit of tragedy. Yes, I was around drugs and violence before the day that I started secondary. That's part of it, not half of it. Get the picture, the rest ain't necessary. Growing up, got a little caught up. That ain't even half of my life. Also given the knowledge of self, that is all we actually need to survive. If you saw me, age 9, reading Malcolm, just fine. Teachers still treated me stupid. Students that couldn't speak English, they put me in groups with. The irony is, some of the first man to give me schooling, you were called youngsters. I already explained that we know what the truth is. They used to say don't be like me. Yeah, I got a name and dough on the street. Nighttime comes, I can't sleep. It's the part that rappers don't speak. We don't hit the road cause we're thugs. Don't come out the room, wanna sell drugs. If we got the right guidance and love, would we fight people just like us? How could I knock the hustle to get by? How do you think I ate as a child? Judge no one, done many things wrong. Just don't boast about it in songs, but listen to my older bars. I was just as confused as you probably are, but you grow when you learn. Travel on cut, one too many man, you know, get caught up. One too many man that could have been doctors, end up spending the whole life boxed up. You learn if you study, so set out just to make them money. No cover, it's all about getting poor people to fight with one another. So it's logical that us killing our brothers, dissing our mothers is right in line with the dominant philosophy of our time. But time is a cycle, not a line. Comes back around, you regain your mind. You be ready for the energy I challenge in my rhyme. Remedy the pedigree, the jeopardy of your mind. When the world this leverage is a crime. We can all fight with our brothers over crumbs. Harder to fight the one who makes guns. We can all talk get $2. Harder to be the one who seeks knowledge. If we understood economics with no money's nothing, think nothing of it. Money is a means to get wealth, not the wealth itself. And don't get confused, far from broke. All that you see me do I own, but I won't hang what I make around my neck. I know from where that the diamonds came, but I do literally own a library that definitely costs more than your chain. And businesses and property, far from starving. I eat quite properly and I don't care, just said it for the kids. You need to know you're not broke to listen. Don't know an asset from a liability, they've never been shown or told the difference. So they don't change situation. Richest man in Britain is Asian, that's significant, not coincidence. Asian people build businesses not by flossing, going out shopping, giving up their culture for everyone's profit. Who runs Bollywood? Indian people. Who runs our ish? So we shake our ass and dance as if racism just upped and vanished. But has it? No, it's right on course. You're beaten so bad you're trained to ignore. Let me not just make sweeping statements. Give me a second, I'll explain it. For small amounts of drug possession, there's more black people in jail in America than there is for rape and armed robbery and murder all put together. You can say they're just locking up thugs. Imagine they're in prison, every middle class kid that had ever held drugs. Oh, that's right, that'd be your kids. Bigger than that, what is going on with this? Prison in America's private business. They get paid 50k per year per inmate by the state. Just wait, also legally are allowed to use their prison inmates as slaves. Cheap slave labor, big corporations, they come out of jail when they can't get a job. So when we celebrate going to jail, we are literally celebrating enslavement. Add to that, the hood that you live in, engineered social condition that breeds crime by design. Where do you think you get your and you can say that they're just black, but I like to deal with facts. In the 1920s, you would have found in America black towns, prospering centers of economics to education to make you proud. But some people couldn't bear that the former slaves would not just lie down to the KKK and other hate groups. burn those towns to the ground, killing hundreds if it ain't understood. You think you were always living in the hood? It's only been 60 years since the hung blacks and burn them, and that was so cool. They were your baskets, picnic baskets, even gave kids the day off school. Go see a lynching, have a picnic, it's fun to watch the little monkeys die, and people act a little dysfunctional. You wanna pretend that you don't know why. If your colour means you can be killed and you're powerless to get justice about it, is it difficult to figure out how you would then end up feeling about it? And that ain't excuses, just dealing with the roots of abuses that make a reality. We're a generation of young men speak of ourselves as dirt casually. That's America, this Britain. Something similar, some different. In this country, the first enslaved were the working class. What's changed? Worse jobs, worse conditions, most tax. Look where you live and yet you go to the pub. Friday night you will fight with a guy, don't know what for, won't fight with a guy. Shooting a tight who send your kids to die in a war. They don't send the kids to the rich or the politician, it's your kids, the poor British. They're the same to go and die in a foreign land for these wars that you don't understand. Yeah, they say you are British and that lovely patriotism they feed you, but in reality you have more in common with immigrants than with your leaders. I know both sides of my family, black and white, a fed ghetto mentality, reality in this system. Poor people are dirt regardless of shade. But with that said, let's not pretend that everything is the same. When our grandparents came here to Britain, if you had a criminal record you couldn't get in. That ain't protected from all of the stupid abuses they will be living. Kicked in the teeth, stabbed in the street, many times firebombed our houses, put feces through our letterbox, and of course the cops did so much about it. Daily, up to the 80s, people spitting in my palm cause I was a baby. But of course, that has had no effect on why today we are crazy. And none of this was for any good reason. They were just dark and grieving to ease the guilt now for all of this treatment. Constant stereotypes are needed. So if I celebrate how big that my kid now, bricks that are flipping, clips that are sticking, chicks that I'm hitting, I'm playing my position. But if I teach a kid to be a mathematician, messing with the schism, how they gonna fill a prison when materialism is no longer our religion? What do you think we got now in Britain? Just like America, private prison, prison for profit. That mean when your kids go jail, people make money off it. So keep environments that pre-crime, build more jails at the same time. Market badness to the kids in the rhymes. Long as rich kids ain't dying, it's fine. Get them to the point where some are so lost they actually believe if they don't celebrate killing themselves off. It's because they're soft. Was Malcolm soft? Was Marley soft? Tell me, was Marcus Garvey soft? Well, was Muhammad Ali soft? Nah, I think not, but they want us to think that the road is cool. Being on road is all we could do. We don't control the wholesale production, so who benefits from us moving the food? All thinking there's no way out of road life, but Malcolm X used to hustle on the roadside. And Marcus Garvey organized more than 6 million people with no Facebook or Twitter. Why is it something you can't eat? One of my own homeboys did attend straight in the boxing yard. Now what's he doing? Passing his doctorate. Don't tell me that it's too hard. Who trained you to believe you're inferior? Sungbo Ebedo in Nigeria are the remains of an ancient moat dug 1,000 years ago, 20 meters wide, 70 down. Round the remains of an ancient town that's 400 square miles around. 400 square miles around. Please don't believe me, it was a documentary on BBC, but we ain't studying history. Too busy watching MTV, and MTV said wear platinum. Now everybody wanna go and wear platinum, and MTV said pop magnums. Now everybody wanna go and pop magnum. If MTV said drink prune juice, you can start hearing that in tune soon. Hey, today I wore my Cartier. Is it now more important what I got to say? Oh, and I drive a Mercedes, by the way, so everybody listen to what I got to say. Does that make you all happy? But it's my head still nappy. Think for myself, so some mad at me, but on the mic ain't not one bad as me. All of this here's good for the rhymes. Put us in the same place at the same time, and it's clear to everybody I'm out of my mind. Some of these guys are running out of their rhymes. Clear to everybody that has got ears. I'm the guy that they just might fear, that they wanna get near, but they can't have a peer. Oh dear, I'm hard liquor, you just like beer. Front on the kid for another 5 years. Come to my shows and some criteria mean that much to them. It's a movement. I don't speak for myself, but a unit. Black, white, man, woman, anyone who respects truth we put in. Dudes are like no dinner, we're just pudding. Yeah, you're sweet but no substance pudding. You can never ever be with a level on. Our songs get played out there in Lebanon. We speak for the people properly, not for the old fat guys in offices and the girls loving. Ain't fair, you can't even be bothered to comb his hair. Anyway, that's enough kissing my own ass. Back to the more important task of being so shower. I got half the hood screaming, knowledge is power. And I ain't saying that'll change rap, but I do know this for a fact. Right now there's a youth on your block with his hands on his face screwed up. So he don't care, don't give a that he won't let nobody call his bluff, but the words go in. Open your chakras, once that's happened there is no going backwards. You start to see what is really happening. Who the enemy you should be attacking is. So read, stuck on the block, read, sitting in the box, read, don't let them say what you can achieve. Cause when people are enslaved, one of the first things they do is stop them reading. Cause it is well understood that intelligent people will take their freedom. Cause if we knew our power, we would understand we can't be held down. If we knew our power, we would not elevate not one of these clowns. If we knew our power, we wouldn't get arrogant when we get 2 pennies. If we knew our power, we would see what everybody sees, that we're rich already. But never mind, MCs go run for your mummy. I'm hungry, I run for my tummy. That's enough, back to worshipping money. I'm off, back to the study. Man! I can't even burn the booth down, man! Hey, someone pass me that extinguisher! Hey, brother!
has been burned.
Illustrate Records.
Now that is what you call fire in the booth. Not only you come with real crazy flows, the bars are crazy, the punchlines are crazy. It had a message, man.
Boy, did he have a message. He had a message. The man was able to speak on American issues and Britain issues. And what he said about the working class being like the first slaves is so freaking true. A lot of people do not understand that. That's why I hate this whole racism. I'm a descendant of a slave. You know what I'm saying? And then you get these white people with this arrogance thinking, oh, well, you know, we were above them. No. The first slaves imported over here were from Britain, bruh. Like they were white. They just called y'all indentured servants. But here's the thing. You drop a dish, the person who you doing your servitude to says, well, that's 5 more years on your servitude. You were still a slave. That's man. That right there, what he was saying. Like, I'm so glad I checked this out. It's crazy. He understood American issues and Britain issues, man. It's crazy. My head just running right now. I don't even know what I want to start talking about. We'll talk about the prisons. The prisons are private. That's exactly why they send people to prison. There are more whites in prison than blacks, but that's also simply because there's like 149 million white people in the United States versus 54 million blacks. So you all got us almost by like 100 million people. So it would make sense that the number is higher. But if you actually look at the number of people being enslaved by the amount of people in the country, there are more black people enslaved. If you just look at that by that percentage, okay? But white people are super duper enslaved because they don't have any respect for the poor white class and never have. You were looked at as slaves back in the day, as my descendants was looked at as slaves. Period. There was once a time when white slaves, black slaves got together, burned down a town, and then that is when the whole separation game started. When they start separating, because they begin to understand, the masters begin to understand the power that black and whites had unified. So they've begun this whole separation ordeal where they start promising white servants, well, you know, once you're done with your servitude, you can go get some land or whatever. But they would just keep them in servitude for mistakes that they would make in their servitude. So they would die of a servant, just like a black man would die a slave. If a white man ran away, 10 more years on a servitude. You see what I'm saying? Black man ran away. Let's say white man, black man ran away. A servant and a slave. We're going to use them names. Servant representing the white slave and a slave representing the black. Okay? If they ran away together, what they would do is you get 10 more years on your servitude. Now go back to work. But since the black man was property, it didn't really matter. He didn't have a length of time on his servitude. So they would beat him. They wouldn't beat the white one. This begun to make a rift in the alliance that black and white slaves had, because they began to see they were getting treated differently. Like the white slave, like, well, I got 10 more years on my servitude, but I'm not getting beat half to death. You see what I'm saying? And they were filling the white servants' heads with promises that they were never going to keep. That began the rift, okay? We used to be unified against the rich. That was the issue. that began the rift. There is a book that I read, not all the way because I end up losing it. I'm gonna order another one so I can finish it. It's called The People's History of the United States. It is a awesome book. It educates you on a level of what Christopher Columbus did to all the natives and all my now Hispanic brothers and sisters, which you all were natives as well. But what he did to them, I mean, the amount that they murdered and killed off in this land is ridiculous. I mean, it is ridiculous. And he has a day on the calendar. I can't believe that. After reading that book, I said, I can't believe that man has a day on the calendar. The amount of stuff that he's done. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. That was fire. It was, just like I said, fire in the booth. That was fire. I am definitely going to watch the other 3 parts of this. Because this says 2011. Okay, so basically this was 6 years ago. This man talking about the prison system. I didn't know the prison system was like that over there in Britain. I knew Britain had issues just from diving into my history books and learning things. I knew Britain had a lot of issues, but I didn't know their system of what they do is kind of similar to the system over here, which now it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense on some other things, but that's going to do it for your boy. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Hit the like button. Continue to comment, man. I love when you guys comment. I love the suggestions. I'm getting to the requests. Don't worry. I'm probably going to be dropping a lot over the next 2 days because I'm off work now, so I can just pump these out for you guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Share. Also, please, yes. I don't say that a lot, but share the vids. I know some of you all are very, very popular. You feel me? I'm not. I'm not popular. So, share them so we can get a bigger community here. All right, let's just get some more G's in here. You know, all G's are welcome. Okay, as long as you about that real deal truth, as long as you about just being calm and cool, you know what I'm saying, you're welcome here at AllG'sReact. And I'm very happy for the G's that we have. We are now over 600 subscribers at this point of this video. All right, so thank you guys. Continue up the suggestions, continue up the commenting, continue up the educating me on some of this music, and I will see you guys on the next reaction. So I'm Nixon.